This is a this is a topic that I've talked about a while ago. It's been a while since I've talked about it. And Facebook used to have this section called notes, and you could write stuff. You're writing a note, but it was really like an article, and you could post what you've written on your page, and people would read it and comment. And I had written quite a few notes on Facebook. I was also writing on my blog. I haven't written an article on my blog in a while. But then Facebook got rid of notes. Now, why in the world would they get rid of this section in Facebook called notes where anybody could write whatever they want? Why would they get rid of that? I mean, think about all the changes that YouTube's made. The only good change that YouTube made was originally when it started, I don't know if you know this, you could not make a video longer than 10 minutes. Boy, I'd be out of business. I still haven't made a dime on YouTube. So I think there's something wrong with my channel that I've never yet received any money, but whatever, I'm not concerned about it. But you couldn't make a video over 10 minutes. That was the limit. I watched Life of Brian in 10-minute segments. The whole movie was on there. No, there was no, what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't block the nude scenes. It was full frontal nudity in Life of Brian. Today, if people react to that movie, it's always blurred out. But I watched the whole movie in 10-minute videos, and it just went part 1, part 2, part 3. The whole movie was on YouTube. You could just watch it. Now they're getting some YouTube movies that they used to charge to watch, but now they're free with ads. So that's nice. But in general, everything YouTube's done to change their channel has made it better for them and worse for us. Worse for the channels and for the people who watch YouTube videos. I don't like YouTube anymore. I mean, I still like it, but I don't like it nearly as much as I used to when it was free to do what you want. Now, I'm glad there's no longer porn on YouTube, or is there? I don't even know anymore. But I know there was that you could watch, and that was insane because kids come on YouTube. Why is this even allowed? And I think there were like restrictions to make it difficult, but really? But I don't know where they are with that today. I hope they haven't brought it back because that's insane. But there's so many stupid things on YouTube now with these copyright claims with music. People are nuts to do music reactions. And even movie reactions are getting blocked. They're getting taken down. Cassie from Popcorn in Bed, my once favorite YouTube channel, still one of my favorites, but she's had a few of her reactions pulled. And she's had to fight to get them back because that's, she's making money on those videos, and they get pulled. That's your revenue is just being stopped. These people are horrible. YouTube is making money on every video. Every single video makes YouTube money. So why do they keep doing this to YouTubers? It's crazy. It's insane. But anyway, a money-free world. The last video I just made while wearing the shirt, just was it early this morning? I don't know when I made the video, but regardless, I didn't even have the thought of what I was going to title that video. I just did that for fun to see if it would generate a reaction, and so far it hasn't generated anything. I thought that title would go, wait, what? And they'd click on it, but no. I do talk about the earth is flat and Jesus is a myth, but I don't say that the earth is flat and Jesus is a myth because I don't believe that. He could be, though. He could be a myth. I don't think there's any possibility that the earth is flat unless we've somehow been duped. But I've already talked about that. A money-free world. Is it possible? Not only do I think it's possible, I think it's inevitable. Because, in my opinion, the alternative is extinction. Yes, that's pretty much what I believe. George Carlin was convinced that we're going away, that the planet is going to get rid of us humans because we've become a nuisance. And he was very convinced of that. Um, Practically predicted COVID. He talked about how they seem to be susceptible to viruses. This was one of his talks before COVID. Be a good way to get rid of them. And miss that man. That is the one man we need. And I'm still feel like it's possible that they took him out because they knew they needed to get rid of him because he was exposing the truth. I mean, if you really want to get a picture of everything wrong with America, not necessarily the entire world, but with America, watch this. I think it's about 4 minutes long, and it's called It's a Big Club by George Carlin. Just watch it. I think it's like 4 minutes. You will get an absolute education on what the state of this country is. And remember, that was a while ago. That video, I don't remember what year he gave that talk. But he laid it all out, and it was the unadulterated truth as far as I'm concerned. And I wish more and more people would watch that video. But why do I believe that a money-free world is possible, if not inevitable? Well, I used to write about it in my notes on Facebook, and I would post that stuff on Facebook, and people chatted about it. And this guy, what's his name? Colin R. Turner. Let me grab his book. All right. I've yet to read this. I should apologize to Colin, but I bought his book. F Day, The Second Dawn of Man. It's a decent sized book. I wanted to buy it. I wanted to read it, and I kept putting it off, and I've forgotten about it. I also wanted to show, this is one of my Facebook friends. I've never met him in person, but I bought his book. He's got 3 of these. He wrote 2 sequels to it, A Family's Heart. Nice book by Alan Brooks. So I thought I'd just show that. And another friend of mine, I don't think he's on Facebook anymore. I think he got off Facebook. I don't remember. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he turned his whole life around. He was doing fine, but this guy wrote this book, and he contacted me and he said, "I want you to buy my book." So I said, "Sure, not a problem. I'll do it. I'll support you." But his whole life has turned around, and this was the book that he wrote about it. And again, it's not a huge book, but it's an interesting book. I read parts of it and did not read the whole thing. So I just thought I'd show those since I'm going to show you Colin's book. But Colin saw my notes about a money-free world, and he goes, "Hey, look, someone else is talking about this." Well, it turns out there's a lot of people talking about this. I think he just happened to find me on Facebook. Maybe he was looking for stuff about the money-free world. Who else is talking like this? And he had a friend he was showing this to, and I would end up talking with both of them for a while. But Colin did a TED Talk, oddly enough. And I will put the link to his TED Talk in the description. Here, let me be like this. The description, down and below, down there. Go down. Anyway. It's only got, it's not a popular TED Talk for some reason. It's only got 41,000 views. I'm looking at it right now. It's 18 minutes long. What would happen if everything was free? That's the subject of his TED Talk. Now, how he arranged that, I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a long time. He was convinced that this is going to happen within 25 years, and I think that was I think he said that to me like 5 to 10 years ago. And I said, well, I hope you're right. Didn't think he was, but it would be nice. Here's another TED Talk, A World Without Money by Jade Saab. What's the other one? Michael Tellinger. Really, really liked Michael Tellinger until I found out he was a Trump supporter. And I went, oh my God, dude, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Contributionism, a world free of money. It's a video on YouTube. It's only got, wow, just 5,600 views. That's all? I know he's got ones that have more than that. I'm scanning them. No, maybe not. Maybe not. I thought he was pretty popular. He's on Facebook, but he won't let people comment on his posts, which is cowardly of him, in my opinion. But this is a 14-minute video, a world free of money, and I loved it. I resonated with it so well. So I'll share those in the description below, if you would like to listen to them. And seriously, listen to George Carlin's "It's a Big Club." I think it's about 4 minutes long. Let me just. Here we go. It's a big club. How long is this video? Yeah, 4 minutes and 39 seconds, or you can do the shortened one, which is 3:11. The 4-minute one is 6 years ago. The 3-minute one is 11 years ago. So it was probably somewhere around 11 years ago when he said it. It's got 1 million views, 1.8 million views. That's nothing. That's nothing. If that thing had 1 billion views, there's a 48-second version of it, the real quick one from 11 years ago. It's the same speech. It's the same thing. It's my favorite thing that George Carlin ever said. Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe not my favorite. His album Class Clown, with the 7 words that you can't say on television, is comedy gold. His comparison of baseball and football, comedy gold. He's got several stand-up comedies that are just phenomenal. But there's a verse in the Bible. I know it's not really what it means, but just read it to you. It says ho, H-O, exclamation point. It really should say come, everyone who thirsts. Come to the waters. And you who have no money, come, buy and eat. Yes, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. And I quoted this verse in my article saying that this is what we should all be trying to achieve, a money-free world, because that would be the closest thing to paradise we will ever create. And I believe we will do this, but it could be 1,000 years from now, and I really don't know. And I really do believe that our two fates that are before us is either extinction or paradise. I don't think there's a third alternative. Our current situation is pure insanity. And I don't know why more people don't understand how insane that is. I mean, again, I'm looking up something. Let me see if I can call it up. I'm going to try to find it. We'll see. Humanity is taking its final examination. We have come to an extraordinary moment when it doesn't have to be you or me. There is enough for all. I've said this and people thought I was nuts. We need not operate competitively any longer. If we succeed, it will be because of youth, truth, and love. Buckminster Fuller said that. That man died in the 1980s. He knew, he saw this. This man became a recluse, went into isolation for like 2 years and just sat and thought. And he ended up creating the geodesic dome, which the military used, which I don't think he was all that pleased about. But he also said this: it is now highly feasible to take care of everybody on earth at a higher standard of living than any have ever known. It no longer has to be you or me. Selfishness is unnecessary. Attention, Elon Musk. Selfishness is unnecessary. I can't make out the thing here. War. A little thing blurring it. War is obsolete. It is a matter of converting our high technology from weaponry to livingry. I've posted these in my community posts, and I don't understand why this isn't becoming the way of the world. The Dark Ages still reign over all humanity, and the depth and persistence of this domination are only now becoming clear. Remember, he died in the 1980s. This Dark Ages prison has no steel bars, chains, or locks. I've never read this one before. Instead, it is locked by misorientation and built of misinformation. Wow, there's a lot of quotes on his Facebook page. Interesting. I've posted this one. We should do away with the absolutely specious notion that everybody has to earn a living. Stupidity. It's stupidity is what I meant. Stupidity. It's stupidity. It's ridiculous. Earning a living, my quote, which will go down in history, earning a living is antithetical to living. It is. It's dumb. You shouldn't have to earn a living. You should have your living provided. We can do that. We can provide everybody on the planet. All of us can create a reality where all of us are free to live our lives. We no longer have to earn a living. And what should we be doing with our lives? Whatever we want to. Whatever you want to do with your life, you should have the freedom to be able to do it. You want to sit on your butt all day and do nothing? There you go. You want to do something creative? Go for it. You want to whatever. And I do agree that we should all serve in our communities. Why wouldn't you want to serve in your community? If we all came together and did that, oh, come on, this is never going to happen, Scott. You're a dreamer. Yeah, but I'm not the only one. Didn't you listen to the song Imagine by John Lennon? You know, when I first heard that song, I laughed. I said, John, you're a fool. What a delusional goof John Lennon was. Now I completely agree with him. Now I see what he meant. I laughed when I listened to that song. I said, oh my God, this guy's out of his mind. Imagine a world with no religion. There's no reason for religion. I mean, religion is fine if it's fine. There's fine religion and there's crazy religion. I got no problem with religion. I don't need to get rid of religion. Some people want to get rid of religion. I don't care about that. I want to get rid of insanity. But some people are always going to be messed up. You're going to have your mental problems, right? And we can take care of those people who are mentally ill. That's not an issue. Oh, but some people are violent. Yeah, and we can put those violent people in prisons and still give them a semi-quality life. I mean, they're in prison. They can't hurt anybody. We can create a wonderful prison for the mentally ill, the violent, the schizophrenic, all of the problems. We can create prisons for those kinds of people where they will be safe and they will not be able to harm anyone. We can do that. But instead, we have a for-profit prison system. Do you know how the prisoners are treated in these for-profit prison systems? Not much different than animals. It's so sick. Our world is so sick, and it doesn't have to be this way. Michael Tellinger is a visionary. He has worked out a system, and it is actually operating right now. It's called Ubuntu. I think it's pronounced Ubuntu. Where these people in these little villages where he's started this movement, and he believes that this will eventually spread to the entire world and we will have a money-free world. It's initially not money-free, but his whole thing, he is doing it. He's doing it. And Colin, in the TED Talk, talks about the different movements all over the world who are trying to create a money-free world. The Venus Project was one of them. The man who founded that lived to be over 100 years old. He just recently died, and the Venus Project is wonderful. Great ideas that man had. I think he was an atheist, but that doesn't matter to me. I don't care if you're an atheist. I'm not offended by that at all. I wouldn't be offended if he was a born-again Christian. I'd be like, oh, no, but it's fine. It's fine. As long as you're a good person. It's not about what you believe. It's how you act. It's how you treat others. What's the issue? Can we have a money-free world, though? Am I just delusional? Why shouldn't everything be free? Just think about it for a moment. Take any topic, let's just say cars. Let's stop selling cars, let's make them free. What? That's crazy. Think about it. Why should we make cars? Oh, well, we make cars because we make money selling cars. Right, and you pay people to make the cars, and you pay people to repair the cars, so you've got car repairs all over the place, and people buy used cars, and you're buying and selling cars, and everything is being done for money, capitalism. Well, let's make it all free. Cars are free from now on. That will never work. Yes, it will. No, it won't. No one will work. Well, if we make everything free, yes, they will. Why would anyone work? Because we need to make cars. If we all make cars for free, then everybody can have a car. It's free. You can have 2 cars, maybe even 3. There's no reason to have, 20. Yeah, but people will hoard. There's no reason to hoard. It's free. You don't need to hoard. Yeah, but people will hoard. Okay, and we need to get beyond that. But no one's gonna make cars, right? Well, yeah, we are. Of course we're going to make cars, because if we don't make cars, we won't have cars. The cars wear out. Eventually you have to junk them. They're no good. You can only repair them for so long, but you can repair them for a long time. Why would anybody repair them? Because everybody has a car and everybody needs a car. And if we help make the cars and repair the cars will last a long time, and we can enjoy having cars. Why would anybody make shoes? No one's going to make shoes if you don't get paid. No one's going to make shoes. Sure, you're going to make shoes for free. Yeah. Why? So that everybody has shoes. Why would we distribute bananas all over the world? Who's going to do that? Bananas can only grow certain places in the world. Why in the world would we do that for free? Well, so that everybody could have bananas. Yeah, but who's going to do it? People who are willing to do that as part of their service to their community. Have bananas shipped from there to there, wherever there needs to be bananas shipped. This is why you do these things, so that we have them. Instead of doing it to make money, you do it to make the world a better place. And everybody benefits, because if it's free, everybody has cars, everybody has bananas, everybody has shoes, everybody has a house, everybody has nice clothes. Everybody, go on and on and on. There's no end to this. Everybody, what did I say in one of my videos? In my opinion, and I've posted it in my community post, every single human being on the planet should be entitled to, as a basic human right, the right to high quality food, clothing, shelter, education, and healthcare. If everyone on the planet was guaranteed those 5 things, food, clothing, shelter, education, and healthcare, those 5, poverty would end. And if we made everything free, poverty would end, because there's no such thing as poverty. And we would guarantee this to all people. Why wouldn't we do that? Imagine if everything was free and you had only high quality food to eat, clothing to wear, shelter to live in, education centers where you could get whatever kind of quality education you want, high quality, and all the healthcare you need. It's all free. Wouldn't life be magical if we created that reality? All we have to do is do it. But how are we going to do it? I can't do it. There's not a chance in the hell I can do that. All I can do is talk about it on my channel and hope that more and more people talk about it. And if more and more people talk about it, it not only can happen, it will happen if it reaches enough people. So all I can do is come on here and talk about what I think we must do, where we are heading. We are either heading to that beautiful paradise where everything is wonderful. Not perfect, of course. People get sick, people die, there are accidents, fights will break out, there will still be problems, of course. Those are never gonna go away, but you can minimize them. You can minimize them a lot. I mean, if nobody lived in poverty, how much crime would there be? I understand the problems of making everything free. How about for now, we guarantee to everybody who works a full-time job a living wage, and those 5 things in high quality. Poverty's gone. Violence would plummet. Crime would plummet. Our overall health would go through the roof because we all would have health care. Nobody would ever go bankrupt. Nobody's homeless. Nobody's homeless unless you want to be homeless. You're free to be homeless. Some people choose to be homeless. They want to. No clue why. Some people like it. I don't know why, but at least you'd be free. All the healthy food that you can eat. I mean, what a world we have. We have the technology and the resources to not do it is crazy. And people say, well, that's a pipe dream. That's never going to happen because humans are evil. And I had this conversation with someone on the community post, and I don't know if I got to him or not. I don't know if I reached him or not. But I said, are you familiar with the prayer that, I know you're familiar with the prayer that Jesus told us we should pray. When you pray, pray like this: Our Father who art in heaven. I'm sure you've all heard that prayer. If you haven't, look it up. Because part of the prayer says, let me get through. Thy kingdom come, may your kingdom come, the kingdom of God. May your will be done on earth. So may God's will, this is what Jesus said, we should pray to God, that may your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I said, now, maybe I'm wrong, but isn't that heaven on earth? The will of God will be done on earth as it's done in heaven. What's God's will in heaven? Well, let's see. There's no poverty. There's no sickness. Everything's free. Wouldn't everything be free? Do you have to earn a living in heaven? No, it's literally a socialist paradise. And the born-again Christians who all believe they're going to go to heaven when they die and live in this perfect environment where they're never going to get sick and they're never going to die and they're never going to need money because everything is just provided. It's paradise. Say socialism is bad. Oh, socialism, that's horrible. No, capitalism. Whoa, we love capitalism. Well, I'm not anti-capitalist. Some people are. Some of the people in the money-free world movement hate capitalism. I hate a lot of capitalism. But I have no problem with moral and ethical capitalism. No problem at all. If I had a publisher with my books and I was able to get my books published and those sold millions of copies, the publishing company would make money, I would make money, and all the people who bought my books would have the enjoyment of reading those books. Think about J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter. Capitalism there is a good source of capitalism right there. Her books. Not perfect. There's problems there, of course. It's not ideal. But she became a billionaire. She gives away a lot of her money. Some people think she's not a good person. Some people think she is. I don't know. I've never met her, and I've heard both sides, and I'm not really sure. I don't care about that. Her books are great. She became a billionaire, and the movies are great. They're fun. That's capitalism done right. Not perfect, could be better. I think we could still do that if everything's free. In a free society where everything's free, you wouldn't want to write a book and publish it and put it out and people could read your book. You do it because you want to do it. You do it because you love to do it. You enjoy doing it. Making movies, you enjoy doing it. Plays, concerts, music, art, literature. All the things that all of your passions, any passion you have in a money-free world, you could pursue those things because you don't have to earn a living. Most of the jobs that are done today are completely unnecessary in a money-free world. Most of those jobs would be gone. You don't need an accountant. You don't need anything to do with taxes. So many jobs would not be done. Almost all jobs would be service jobs. And as the Free World Charter, which is a YouTube channel, which he's a part of, my Facebook friend, who I haven't talked to in a while, Colin, said it would, actually Michael Tellinger said this too, it would only take about 3 hours of work a week. That's how much work we would all have to do. Service work. Taking out garbage, washing windows, cleaning, whatever service work is needed. About 3 hours of everybody doing 3 hours a week. That's about all it would take. I'd gladly do that. For paradise? For paradise. You get to live in paradise. 3 hours of service work a week. Even if it was 5 hours, 6 hours. Sign me up. The overall health of the world would go up. Crime would go down. Prisons would plummet, except for in America. Do you know how horribly incarcerated America is compared to all of the other nations? Have you looked it up? Look it up sometime. The incarceration rate of America versus all the other countries. It's so ridiculous, and it's all because of a for-profit prison system. When you see, it's like guns in America versus guns everywhere else. Gun deaths, mass shootings in America versus all other countries. It's night and day. People say America is the greatest country in the world, and they're so delusional. It's scary how delusional you people are. If you think this is the greatest country in the world, you have no idea. How can you be this ignorant? How can you be this delusional about the state of this country versus Norway, Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Canada? Right off the top of my head, there's more. Finland's a nice country. Now all of the developed countries in the world, other than America, have free healthcare or close to free healthcare for their citizens. I understand that some of these countries, their healthcare system isn't that great, but at least it's free or almost free. I understand that with some of them you have to wait. There's waiting lines and stuff. Yeah, but if you're rich, you don't have to wait. If you're rich, you can pay to get the services faster. But at least everybody in those countries has access to universal healthcare. America's the only country that doesn't do that, the only developed country that doesn't do that. It's so dumb. We're the only country with mass shootings way worse than all the other countries. Not that they don't have them. It's just way worse. So, if we don't achieve a money-free world, I believe we will go extinct. I believe that we might be going extinct real soon now. Hopefully I'm dead wrong about that. But I'm not wrong in that I do believe we will overcome this, and I do believe we will eventually make a money-free world. Now, it might be 20 years from now, it might be 200 years from now, it might be 1,000 years from now. I don't know, and I'm not going to make any predictions on that because I couldn't possibly know. I just hope we don't go extinct. But regardless of the outcome, I am very optimistic despite the horrible state of our world right now. And it baffles me how people don't see how horrible it is. just especially in America. It's not the only place that's horrible. There's a lot of places that are horrible. And America is not the worst, but it is horrible. But there is a hope that goes beyond this life that I am now starting to believe in. I've always kind of believed in stuff like this, but never really sure. But there's a YouTube channel that I want to share with you. I'm going to put the channel in the description. You can click on it and look at the videos. If you want to watch one, see what you think. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this YouTube channel, okay? Just if you want to just look at the titles of the videos. It's called Seek Reality Online. It's not a huge channel. They have a lot of videos up there, and they claim to have tons of evidence that supports what they are saying. Tons of evidence. That we will never die. That we will live in eternity in basically heaven. I don't think they refer to it as heaven. There is no hell. This is all their claims, and I'm just going to touch on them, okay? There is a place where bad people go. They talk about this. And that these bad people who've done this to themselves, they've created their own reality through their own whatever they're dealing with, which is why I think the closest explanation for it in the Bible is outer darkness. But we can reach these people, and ultimately they believe that these people will be reached ultimately. But then again, Jesus said, if you're familiar with the verse, fear not man who can kill the body, but not the soul, but rather fear God who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Now that's quite different from the, again, inconsistencies with born-again Christianity. They'll say, oh, well, no, but by destroy, he doesn't mean, well, yeah, that's literally what the word means. They tried to spin that to, oh, no, it actually means they're going to be burned in fire for all eternity. And I just laughed when I read their explanation. And their reason to show no, that's not what it means. Destroy both soul and body in hell. What do you think is going to happen if the lake of fire is real and people are cast into it? They're going to be destroyed. Now, I don't like that. And I don't really think that God would destroy life. Maybe he will. I don't know that he won't. And maybe he would be right, because I would assume that it would be the worst of the worst. Oh, you don't understand, Scott. We're all sinners. Okay. We all deserve... No. For God so loved the world that whoever believes in Jesus would not perish, but have everlasting life. Okay, so maybe we'll perish. Maybe annihilationism is true, but that's not what you teach. You teach eternal hell, born-again Christians I'm talking to, and you're wrong. And the Calvinists I'm talking to, you're wrong. It's not what the Bible teaches. It doesn't teach anywhere that people will be burned in a literal lake of fire for all eternity and never die, screaming their lungs out. You're insane to believe that nonsense. It is not in the Bible. It is in your translations, but that is not what the Bible teaches anywhere. Hell is a myth. But wait, you just said destroy in hell. Yes, that's the word translated. And so you assume that there's this place called hell. There may be a lake of fire that will destroy people who are tossed into it. I don't know. But there's also, like I said in the other video, it's described as outer darkness. And that makes much more sense to me. It is not a hell where people are being burned alive, I'm in torment in this flame, said the rich man. And the 2nd century Christian, known as Tertullian, said how he's going to rejoice when he gets to look down into the pit of hell and see all of these horrible people being burned alive, screaming their lungs out. And he says he's greatly looking forward to that when he's up in heaven. He said that. You can look up his quotes. Tertullian, 2nd century lunatic. I'll just call him a lunatic. He believed in the Trinity. I don't deny the Trinity. The Bible just nowhere does the Bible say that God is a Trinity. And I keep telling that to people. It's like the Bible doesn't say God is a Trinity. He might be. There are words in the Bible that you can interpret that God is a Trinity. He might be a Trinity, but I don't see anywhere where it says he is, so I don't claim that he is or isn't. But Tertullian was looking forward to watching people burn in hell. This will give us great joy to watch these people burned alive. Just can't understand why people believe such nonsense. Can't understand it. I'll never understand it. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. This should be your prayer, that the will of God would be done on earth just as it's done in heaven. The Bible talks about the new heavens and the new earth. Don't know why you need a new heaven. I don't know what that's referring to. But a new earth? Oh, yeah. For the former will be destroyed. Well, I think they're talking about the heavens, not heaven. And it will be destroyed, and there will be a new heaven and a new earth. Great. Fantastic. Sign me up. I'm looking forward to living in a money-free world where I never get sick and never grow old, and everything is perfect. Heaven on earth. A lot of people believe that Jesus is going to return soon and set up his kingdom on the earth. And he's going to reign for 1,000 years. Great. You won't see me complaining if that happens. I'll be like, yeah, bring it on, man. Where do I sign up for that? Jesus ruling on the earth for 1,000 years? Does anybody have a problem with that? Who else would you like to have ruling on this earth? Give me a name. I'd love to hear who you would like to have ruling on the earth. I'd love for that to be true. I don't think it's true. They've been predicting Jesus' return since the 1st century, and they've predicted it every century. People have predicted that he was going to come in that century, 2nd, 3rd, every single one, and now it's every year. Google it. When is Jesus going to return? Then say Jesus will return in the year, and pick a year, 2037. Type it in. See what happens. There's one for almost maybe for every single year. And I only went up to like 2040 before I stopped searching. I was like, holy crap. There's somebody who thinks every single year, this is the year that Jesus is going to return. Every single one. There might be one there isn't anymore. I don't know. But it blew my mind what people believe. We just had a whole thing with the rapture that was going to happen. Nothing happened. I've seen multiple videos claiming, oh, Jesus is coming back this year. And now they're going to say, now there's one for 2026. There's something. Just Google it. You'll see. I guess they figure, oh, if we just do it for every single year, eventually he'll come and we'll go, see, we warned you. It just kills me. It just kills me. I don't understand it. But a money-free world is so clearly a superior world to live in. Well, nobody will work. Yes, everybody will work. Every able-bodied person who can work will work, but you only have to work 3, 4, 5 hours a week is all that's necessary to achieve this paradise that we want. You wouldn't do that? To be able to live freely? So to be able to pursue your dreams? I want to be a musician. Nothing's stopping you. You don't have to become famous. You don't have to get rich. You can be a musician because you love playing music. You know who did that? Now he's rich, but you know who did that? Purely because he loves doing it and that's what he wants to do in his life. Ren. You should read his story. You should look into the story of Ren, of how he lived his life and all the things that he did. And he didn't think he'd make it to 30. He thought he'd be dead because of all the health problems he was having. And then his album became #1 in the UK, and all of a sudden he's got money. And the Charismatic Voice interviewed him. Charismatic Voice, she has over 2 million subscribers. Beautiful woman, by the way, married with children. So just so you know, really cool girl. Interviewed him. I encourage people to watch that interview. If you like Ren and you haven't seen his interviews, Rosalie Elliott interviewed him. Great interview. Knox Hill interviewed him. Great interview. There's others who've interviewed him. I forget the one guy. And I don't know how many interviews he's done total, but those are the ones I've watched. I've watched The Charismatic Voice. That's the best one. Knox Hill, very good. Rosalie Elliott, very good. Those are the 3 I've watched of his interviews, and they're really, really good. Rosalie referred to him as her brother from another mother. That's how she feels about him. She loves him. And I told her I feel that way about her, and she liked that. She said, "I'm glad you told me that. That's really nice." So, cool girl, Rosalie Elliott. Check her out. She does music reactions, but she's a very interesting girl. And she's got a couple 100,000 subscribers. And yeah, I love her like she's my sister. I feel a brother-sister vibe with her. And it might be because of what she said to Ren that made me feel that way about her. But I do. That's how I feel about her. And I wish I knew her personally. But we have talked a little bit. So she knows me and I know her. So that's cool. I have a relationship. And I like that. I've spoken with Colin Turner, the TED Talk, the guy who gave the TED Talk. I think you'll enjoy that TED Talk. I think you'll enjoy listening to Michael Tellinger. His vision, see, not only does he have a vision of a money-free world, he's got a plan, and he's implementing that plan right now in like Africa or somewhere. And he is convinced that it will spread to the entire world. He talks about it. I don't know if the talk I'm going to show you is the one where he talks about, the one where I'm going to put in the description, but it is really good. And I highly recommend you listen to these people explain how this money-free world really is possible. And I say it's inevitable. I say there is no other alternative that's going to survive. Because what we're doing right now, we are heading to extinction right now. They're already talking about executing people, Americans. That is so insane. The insanity of the mindset of some people on this planet is scary and terrifying. If Americans are getting executed, I don't even know what I'm going to do. That's scary. That is really, really scary. But a money-free world is not pie in the sky pipe dream. It is a very, very achievable thing. It's been an achievable thing for at least 50 years. We can do this. This is not an impossible thing to achieve. It is not delusional. If you would look into it, take the time to listen, you will see that this is a very achievable goal. It is. It may not be for us. It probably isn't for us, but it could be for the next generation or the one after that or the one after that or the one after that. Who knows how long it'll take? Like I said, it could take 1,000 years. I don't know. Colin thought it would only take 25 years. I don't know what he thinks now, because here we are 5-10 years later since he said that to me, and we're further away, not closer. It's not getting better. Well, maybe it is getting better in many parts of the world that I have no knowledge of. Because let's face it, most of what's going on in the world, over 99% of what's going on in the world, we are completely oblivious to it unless you go online and start looking at what's going on. We're not aware of most of what's going on in the world. What's going on in Germany right now? No clue. I could look into stuff and find things, but in general, I'm not following what's happening in Germany or Japan or Norway or any of these places. I hear good things, I hear bad things. I don't know the state. I know the state of America. We're going to hell unless something's done. And I keep hoping that something's going to be done. I keep hoping that this is going to come to an end and we're finally going to go back to an FDR like America where we are starting to move in the right direction. FDR is the only president who took us in the right direction and turned America into, at that time, the greatest nation in the world. And America, thanks to FDR, despite what Republicans will tell you, is the reason that America became the envy of the world. You ever heard America described as that? The envy of the world? That was from the 1930s and 1940s. And that's when it happened. And immigrants from all over the world wanted to come here. Why? To pursue this thing that was called the American dream. Do you know what the American dream is? The middle class. Anyone who tells you something else is wrong. The American dream was something that never existed before this. The middle class. There was no such thing as a middle class. There was the rich, there were the merchants, and then there was the working poor. And America is going back to the working poor and the merchants and the rich. We're going right back there right now. It is happening right now. It's been happening for, well, since about the 70s, or I would say the 80s, is really when we started moving in this direction. I hope we fix it. I really, really hope we fix it. We need an FDR to rise up. The best people right now that you should be listening to, in my opinion, and there may be better ones that I'm unaware of, please share them with me. James Tallarico, John Fugelsang. I'm trying to think if there's other ones. I mean, in politics, there's Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Ilhan Omar, I think, is a pretty good person. I don't know enough about her, but I like her. And there's some others, and there's probably a couple Republicans that are good people that want to do the right thing. I don't know who they are. I don't know what other Democrats are, reasonably good. I'm not, singing their praises, but I would take a Bernie Sanders-like politician any day over anything else right now. He's still the best politician out there right now, as far as I'm aware. If there's someone better, I mean, James Tallarico I think he's a politician now. He's also a Christian pastor, but he's my kind of Christian pastor. Like the dungeon minister is an Anglican priest, my kind of Christian. James Tallarico and the dungeon minister, and there's others. I know there are others. My pastor of the church I grew up in, Pastor Trost, was a wonderful man. Wonderful man. And then there was Pastor Henry, who came later, and I don't know if he passed away now, but he was there for his whole life. And Pastor Henry was a very nice man. I think he's died now. I think he's passed on. And then there was Pastor Gorman, who took us camping, bought my parents' huge tent. My parents had this huge tent, and he purchased it from them because he loved the tent. He wanted it. And he took our fellowship group in the church camping. We all went camping with Pastor Gorman. Great guy. Wonderful man. I miss pastors like that in churches. I'm lucky that I grew up in this really nice, I would say more liberal than conservative church. I don't know. I think they were of the liberal. There's like two divisions of the Lutheran Church. One is called Missouri Synod, which is more conservative, and I don't know what the other one's called, but I think we were the other one. But maybe we weren't. Maybe we were originally of the conservative bent, but now they've got female pastors there. They are much more in the woke crowd. I don't know to what extent. It's been a long time since I've been there. But they are definitely liberal in their politics, I think. I don't know if Pastor Trost would have been a conservative, but in that day, conservatives were really good people. And there are still really good conservatives like that today. I know some. Talk to them. I had no idea they were conservative. I was shocked. Oh, you guys are conservative? They said, yeah, we've always been conservative. Good people. They're not falling for all this nonsense that's happening. They don't buy any of this. This is horrible. They're sickened by it. Being a conservative doesn't mean you're a blind, brainwashed moron. You could be a liberal and be a blind, brainwashed moron. Stop broad brushing. Stop broad brushing groups. There are good and bad liberals. There are good and bad conservatives. There are good and bad white people. There are good and bad black people. There are good and bad women, gay, transgender, you name it. Race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever word you want to use, gender, I don't care. There are good and bad people in all groups. And the fact is, most of us have been bad at times and good at times. My hand goes up. It's not about that. What are you doing now? What kind of person are you now? That's all that matters. I can't do anything about my past. If I learn how to travel through time, I'm going to go back and relive my life. Trust me, I will definitely go back. If I could do it, I'd do it right now. Where's that red button? I'll push it right now and go back and relive my life over again. A chance to undo the stupidity and have a second chance to live a better life. Oh God, I'd do that immediately. I bet some of you would too. I'm insane, man. 56 minutes. I guess I just love to talk, you know? No clue why I'm doing it, other than I wanted to say what I wanted to say and talk about these things. I want to hear what people think. I want feedback. I want to get to know you. I don't care who you are. I want to get to know you. I do. I'd love to become friends with as many people as possible. Hell, I wish we could all meet like once a year, have a gathering place, but you know, we can't do that. In a money-free world, we could do that. In a money-free world, we could all say, hey, okay, our annual meeting in Chicago, and everybody who wants to come would just come. It's free. There's no charge. The food you eat is free. The place where you live is free. Your travel is free. Do you know what kind of world we'd have? We would all be connected. We can communicate with anyone in the world now. Video chat with anyone in the world. Let alone visit anyone in the world. In a money-free world, we could travel the world freely. All the time, as often as you want. If we could just see the vision of what we have the ability to do now. Go on Facebook and look at what some of these countries are doing. Look at the posts of what these countries are doing, the things that they are creating. It's science fiction come to life. It's happening right now in different parts of the world. There's even a couple things in America that people are doing that are mind-blowing. Someone's figured out a way to grow teeth or something, or create teeth that are just as good as real teeth, and they can do it for like $300 is all it's going to cost, and you can have brand new teeth in your mouth. Something to that effect. I don't know the full effect of it, but there's countries doing different things. A lot of people are doing things for the homeless. There's a free grocery store in Canada now. Free. The food in this grocery store is free. How? Someone's footing the bill so that poor people can go buy food. Blew my mind when I read that. I said, yes. Wow. Nobody would starve in a money-free world. Everybody'd have food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare of the highest quality. Why would you make anything other than the highest quality in a money-free world? Why would you make this is the car that we make for people who can't afford the expensive car. Oh no, there's no reason to make those cars anymore. These are clothes that are just okay. This is, here's the expensive clothing. Then we have the average clothing, and then here's the clothing for the poor people who can't afford to buy clothes. We have real low quality clothing. No, you don't make that anymore. Now you only make top quality. The best quality jeans, the best quality suits, the best quality everything, shoes, jackets, everything. You would only make the best quality because there's no reason to do an inferior quality in a money-free world. So all of the cars would be the best quality car made. There's no reason to make a cheap car. There's no reason to make cheap anything in a money-free world. So we'd only work with superior tools in every way, in every sense. It's the most magical world. A sci-fi reality can be the reality right now if we just take the time to do it. But that involves getting everyone to come together, and that may not happen. It may never happen. It may take 100 years, 1,000 years. I don't know. And we may end up going extinct. If evil has its way, if the stupid have their way, we will go extinct. But if Seek Reality Online is right, and I now believe that they are right, I don't know that they're right, but this is what I believe now. I'm looking forward to the day I die because I believe I am going to go to the place that they describe. And you can look at their videos and see what they describe. And they have lots of evidence. They say, we know this is true. And here is the evidence that will show you that we are right. Now, they could be wrong. It's very pie in the sky. I've messaged them saying, this all sounds too good to be true. I hope you're right. I said, oh, we are. Just keep looking and you'll see. There's no doubt in their minds that this is true, that we are going to see our relatives when we die, and we are going to live in an earth-like world that is absolute paradise, spirit body, which I believe can take on flesh. We will be young, and we will never get sick, and we will never die, and we will have everything there. There's a lot of interesting videos on that site, Seek Reality Online. Check it out. Check out my videos in the description and tell me what you think about them, okay? Really, I want to talk with people. I can't talk. Look, if 5,000 people decided they wanted to talk to me, I couldn't possibly do it. That's not going to happen anyway. It's only going to be like 2 or 3 of you that are probably going to try to talk to me. But I could handle 20 or 30. I'd be shocked if that many people said, hey, yeah, let's chat about this stuff. Show me stuff. Feel free to disagree with me. I'm open to conversations about this stuff. I'm not claiming to know that I'm right or anything like that. I want life to be wonderful for everyone, don't you? I mean, seriously, think about it. Even the messed up people, I want them cared for. Look at the movie Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman. Look at the life that he was living. He couldn't function on his own, but he was being provided for. Wouldn't it be great if we could do that for every single person? Even the bad people. Well, the bad people are going to a place, according to Seek Reality Online, and they are going to be in that reality that they created for themselves, and we can communicate with them and will be able to get them to rise up into our level and come live in our level. It will eventually happen, but it could take a very long time. They don't know how long it'll take. That's cool. How would that be a bad thing? I mean, what Seek Reality Online is claiming is phenomenal news if it's true. That's the only issue. Are they right? They say they've proven that they're right. They say they know for a fact. They have proof. I'm not going to get into what their proof is. You can go look and you can make your own mind. You might laugh and say, this is silly. This is stupid. I understand. It might be. But I believe that they're right. I do. I really believe that I will see my parents again when I die, and they're young, and they're happy. And apparently I can communicate with them through dreams and things like that. I'd love to have that happen. We'll see. I hope you all have a nice night, nice life, and I hope I can chat with some of you. Take care.